Well, it is now official. The leader of Reform UK, Richard Tice, has formally rejected the idea of making any deal with the Tory party at the next general election. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. 2019, the general election, Jeremy Corbyn, Boris Johnson, and you had the Brexit party. It got a bit complicated, and that actually helped the Tories and Boris to win the election. But that was a whole different situation because the Brexit party stood, but the Brexit party wasn't standing to win. It wasn't to form a government because they didn't have enough people anyway. The idea of it was literally called the Brexit Party. They had one project in mind, and it was to get Brexit done. Now, don't get me started with the fact that Brexit is not fully done, but in terms of overall. So they made a deal, unofficial deal. They withdrew some of their candidates to ensure that Corbyn's candidates don't win. But the situation now is different. A lot of people were waiting for this announcement because they were still not really convinced that Reform UK or Richard Tice whether they want to make a deal with the Tories or not, because they didn't really get the confirmation from Reform until now. Now, they've confirmed that, and as we already reported a while ago, that they will be fielding parliamentary candidates in every constituency, which means against every Tory, according to Richard Tice. He's actually said in regards to any deal with the Tories, he said, well, we are not making a deal. It is a 110% cast iron guarantee. We've already got 600 candidates and we will stand everywhere. I think people are starting to realize that we are serious about this. For obvious reasons, some people have ignored us until now. But we've got momentum. We are equal or above the Liberal Democrats. Yes, I mean, when you look at some of the opinion polls that have come out, it is now showing that Reform could definitely, potentially, become the third party. It could easily replace the Liberal Democrats because the Liberal Democrats don't represent anything or anyone anymore. Considering both the Tories and the Labour Party already have an element of modern liberalism in their parties. So if you're a Social Democrat, you can just join the Labour Party or the Tory Party anyway. You don't need the Lib Dems. There are also a lot of rumours, or have been rumours, about Nigel Farage. The rumours about Nigel Farage coming back as party leader have now been crushed. Nigel Farage's involvement with Reform UK continues, but Richard Tice was asked about Nigel again and whether he will come back as party leader. And Richard said he is very much enjoying what he's doing when it comes to his media work at GB News. I speak to him 2 or 3 times a week. He's on his really good form and is massively supportive of everything that we are doing. The Tories are worried when they are writing in newspapers, please don't vote Reform. Actually, this is a good point, because the Tory party was supposed to be, firstly, the most successful political party in history, a democratic party in history, but it's also supposed to be consistently the most organized establishment and less desperate. But when you have Tory activists and MPs and politicians writing in newspapers saying, please don't vote Reform, that is a bit needy. That is a bit embarrassing. And it's not really convincing the people not to vote Reform. If you don't want them to vote for the Reform UK as a tribe, as a party, then the best thing you can do is probably come up with better policy ideas and then actually say, we will be better because of this, and Reform UK won't be good because of this. You can't just say, don't vote Reform or you'll get Keir Starmer, because people are sick and tired of that narrative. Having said that, some people will still fall for it. They'll be like, well, yes, we don't want Starmer, so let's vote for another socialist, Rishi Sunak. But it's also about what's going to happen with Boris Johnson. We're going to come back in half an hour. We're going to tell you about... We have some more video updates and news stories for you guys throughout the day anyway, but one of them is going to be about Boris Johnson and the return of Boris. Yep, we're going back in time again. Let me know what you think. I'm Maya, Tousi, and we are the media.